for YouTube. Welcome everyone to Perisno Live, episode... Is it episode 7 or 8? I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure what episode is. Today we're going to go over a few things. We'll be going over Geishar and the new official land of Perisno in today's episode. Let me get my Twitch chat up here, because for some reason it is not showing. Thank you, Twitch. Awesome, isn't it? Thank you. 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Creator dashboard. Pretty sure that's what I want. I did not want that. I want the stream manager. There you go. And if my sound is not working or something, just let me know. We got a new follower 21 days ago. Bean Burrito 17, thanks for the follow. Robotic Tune, thanks for the offline follow as well. Specnet, thanks for the follow as well.
Hail to the chief!
Yaquas, thanks for the follow. Welcome. Got a lot of follows in here tonight. Welcome as well. Pause this. I want to get this chat out. Sorry about this. Pop it up. There we go. I am unsure why my OBS is not being cooperative tonight, but we'll get figured out. We'll just roll with it. We'll just roll with it. It is what it is at this point. No, that's not what I wanted. That was a dumb moment for me. Sorry, boys. I want my stream. Let me catch up. I pulled out the wrong. I didn't pull out the chat. All humans, no artwork. There should only be Galdarian. Yes. I don't agree with that, but sure. Human scum. You'll actually, Donald Duck, I think you'll be happy with the artwork we'll have for the Nefali. We have, yeah, we only have human artwork so far. You're correct. So, we'll probably like that. Why is Twitch not letting me do this? Pop it out. There you go. Thank you, Twitch. Finally. I think I caught up with all the follows, so let's jump in to the latest patrons for Perisno. Once again, if you're not yet part of the Patreon for Perisno, make sure to follow it. I listed it in the description below, or it is listed now in the comment section. Latest followers for Patreon. If you're part of the Patreon for Perisno, you will get exclusively, well, not exclusively, I guess, for the giveaway. Followers gain 20 bonus Orem. Subscribers are rewarded with 3 times the Orms if you're subbed to the channel, and have a 2 times chance of winning. And subs get an extra ticket or an extra entry for the giveaway, for all giveaways in this one as well. All right, so let's get into the new Patreon in a second here. I'm waiting for Legio to get on. He has some new stuff to show us. I think Sovan's going to be on in a second here, and then Violhand as well, to go over some ideas that we're working
Hail
with.
to the chief!
Frosty Skipper, thanks for the follow. Welcome to Perisno Live. Okay, patrons. Let us look at the latest patrons for January. Robotic Tune. We have Bert Margertz, we have Sheep, and Inuit Daniel G. Upgrading from the $1 to $5 a month. Thank you for that. And that was as well. And for January, Neiman is the newest patron for January with the $5 for a month. All right, those are the new patrons. You will be listed in game under the. I'll show you that. I'll show you guys that in a second here. You'll be listed in game in the credits as well if you're a patron, and you're going to get a bunch of benefits as well. And I do plan on having a March giveaway for patrons only, March or April. It depends what we're going to do. And if you're a patron as well, if you're in our Discord, I'm getting a call here. Unfortunately, I can't answer it. 1 second here. If you're part of the Patreon, oh, Rune Lord is here. Sweet. Getting distracted. I didn't miss any chat. That's good. Thank you for following Frosty Skipper. Did I miss that? If I missed it, thanks for the follow, Frosty Skipper. Once again, if you're part of the Patreon Discord, yeah, we'll go to you in a second, Rune Lord Sylvan, so you don't have to unless you have to go soon. Yeah. Okay, there we go. If you're part of the Perisno Discord, you have a Patreon only page down here, which you can enter, and we share some Patreon only stuff, direct feedback with the devs and all that. If you want some stuff added or you have some concerns, whatever, and we do share some Patreon only stuff from time to time, so you'll have access to that as well. And the live stream channel if you want to do live feedback as well. All right. Before we get to the map, right over here, boys and girls, the Wonder Draft, the Perisno map is going to be soon. But before we get to that, we have Rune Lord Sylvan and Vilehand. We're going to go over some Perisno ideas. Can you both, do your mics work, Sylvan and Vilehand? Just a mic check. I think you can hear me on Discord. Get a mic check on that.
Yep. Should be good.
All right. Can you hear me? Do you hear me twice if I talk on Discord as well? Or I guess you can mute the Twitch feed as well, so that's fine.
Yeah, I've got the
right on.
Twitch muted now.
Sweet. So we can go over your idea first. Is Vilehand in the chat as well? He is on Discord.
He is. I believe he's muted right now, though.
Right on. Before we get to your idea, let's do a mic check on Vilehand to make sure he's good.
Can you guys hear me?
Loud and clear. Nice. Okay.
Yep, I can hear you good.
Sweet. So we'll go over Sylvan's idea first. Let me bring it up here. It's white. My screen will be turning white, so hopefully it's not too bright, but it is what it is. Can't help it.
I kind of wish I kept a separate copy of it, but
I can send you I can share the doc if you want.
Yeah, same.
I'll share the doc with you guys.
All right, cool.
Yeah, I thought I had it saved, but I haven't been on my documents in a month, and let me know if this works for you guys. I put both of your ideas in the same doc.
All right, cool.
Right on.
Yep, got it.
Sweet. So I had Sylvan's idea on top and Vilehand's idea on the bottom. And I'll make this bigger so the chat can read along with us. So, all right, Sylvan, you have the floor. Let's get going.
Alrighty. So, my plan here was replacing the various parties of Perisno adventurers or pioneers. I've heard people call them two different names.
Yeah.
Because they're using a lot of out of source stuff. They just seem like another reskinned bandits, which is fine for variety, but I thought it'd be interesting to have a bit of an idea of like these failed mercenaries turned treasure hunters who are kind of making a bit of a ruckus. They're not exactly as noble as Arcanis to the Perisno religious guys. But they're not necessarily evil either. They're just, they like money.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so...
What was
just gonna take a look.
What was the word? What was the word you used? Like to copy and paste?
What was that?
the word you use for like the current Perisno minor faction or the?
Oh, they just sort of seemed like a little generic.
Okay, that's fine. Got it.
But I like the idea, their look, the sources for the armor, they kind of look like conquistadors, and there's a lot of inspiration for, El Dorado seeking treasure. So I thought you could maybe think of the idea, given by their equipment, but try to incorporate it in the lore and give them a bit of a different look. I also wanted another excuse, to be honest, to use the term Dark Forest, because I think it
Got it.
it looks really nice. It sounds really nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the Dark Forest Company, that is the formal name, and definitely not the most high tier of troops. 'Cause I think it's tempting to make, super elite parties to fight, and I like fighting super elite parties in my playthroughs, but you think about the types of bandit parties you like to take on in the early to mid game, especially depending on which certain difficulties and damages you're using. Snow walkers come to mind, regular deserters. So I figured this would be something, and if the spawns are kept where they are or moved, I'm not sure, but if they're kept where they are, it'll give kind of a nice bandit group to fight if you're playing with Kaikoth a lot.
Okay. One quick question I have before I continue. You say here
Sure.
a former mercenary company comprised of entirely low-born Perillo, thought to be from a sparsely populated East Banks. So when you say low-born Perillo, are they like outcasts or just not?
No, they're just commoners.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that goes along with the Pioneers Adventures theme, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Since they're not nobles.
They've kind of, they've struck out on their own. Their mercenary contract, they either didn't deliver what they were supposed to in terms of performance, or perhaps they felt their pay wasn't adequate for the danger they were going through, and they just upped and left the commission.
Okay. Can you talk a little bit more about the Dark Forest, like the name itself? Why did you go with that?
So I thought, when I was thinking about how their troops would look and act, and I was thinking of their idea being they're looking for relics of the ancient kingdom of Perisno, and I'm thinking of like the iconography they would see, even from like simple stuff we would imagine, like maybe an old tapestry in a ruin of a castle that depicted a skirmish with the Clymorians, or a vase that they discovered painted with some image of a star over a dark forest. They would be exploring the relics that they're hunting and finding out what about life was like back then. And sure, they're not like looking to bring that back per se. They're more looking to sell it to people, but eventually their fascination in it, and for the wealth it would bring, would give them this name, the Dark Forest Company.
Okay.
And they still very much view themselves as a company.
So, going along with the Dark Forest theme, would they be like in good terms with the actual kingdom, or would they be like neutral or actually enemies with the Perisno itself?
I'm not sure how it would work on the coding side of things.
So
But it could be interesting that once the player establishes their kingdom, they say they might have an option with one of the counselor NPCs to pay.
so you could actually hire a party.
Yeah, you can hire the company. I was even thinking hire the company, and there might be an added bonus to it, like them finding treasure. Depending on how many parties they defeat. But that was just kind of a thought that was coming to me as I was mulling this over now. But
so I'm throwing around some stuff ideas as well, since I'm just reading. I haven't really gone into too much of that. But at the start of the game, the Kingdom of Perisno is not there in the current lore and timeline. So what if like this minor faction is like completely neutral to the player, completely neutral to Perisno, and let's say they're not. Let's say you attack them for whatever reason, and then you create your own Kingdom of Perisno. They would probably still be enemies with you since they're enemies with the player. And
right.
that could start off some archways or whatever, and then the Dark Forest itself and this company, since they're so, I don't know. I'm just thinking of a way of these guys becoming deeper than just your normal minor faction. I'm not sure how hard that would be, but the reason I wanted to have you guys on here is because these are two ideas that I really liked, and I could actually build off of these things and just not have these generic minor factions. And I kind of also wanted to pick your brain on your ideas because I do like them, and I want to see if we can actually take these further. So,
right.
And I did have it had this redesign. Sorry for taking over, but I was just throwing some ideas out. I have this design of the Perisno star, and I redesigned it to like make it really new or whatever. And the rest of the team didn't really like the direction it went. And I was looking, how can we use this and still make it work? Because if the design looks really good, but it doesn't fit Perisno. And I could probably bring it up here in a second. It probably wouldn't work for this idea per se, but it might work for something similar. Like this is supposed to be, it's kind of different if you can look at the stream. It was supposed to be the original Perisno star. And then maybe even make it black instead of yellow or something, just to give a flag of that. Because this doesn't really fit the current Perisno theme. I was going with the eight pointed whatever, like the original Perisno star had. You know which one I'm talking? Like the
the regular white one. That's one of the banners.
And it's too. I'm trying to get an HD version of this. I was trying to build off of this. It didn't really work, and this is what we came up with. And that obviously won't work for the current Kingdom of Perisno. So. Once again, just an idea I threw out there, but probably not going to be... I'm trying to figure out how that's going to fit somewhere. But again, yeah. Anyway, keep going. I'm just throwing my stuff out there.
No worries. But yeah, so I do like the idea of having their spawn points being around Kaikoth. Because it'd be one kind of funny to imagine them like running after poor little dwarven villagers, being like, "Hey, you guys got some relics, don't you?" But at the same time, it kind of would build a bit of a lore bridge to show that, well, yeah, the dwarves were on pretty good terms with the Kingdom of Perisno, to the point where there's been rumors that there was heavy trading during that period, and the company is particularly invested there and interested because they think there was a lot of trade of Perisnoan goods and treasures between the dwarves and the Old Kingdom.
So how, one question I had for that, how did he come that far south? or is that just the way they're set up?
I like to think, even though they're kind of from the lake area of Galway, I was thinking their mercenary contract might have been with some Tolranians, so they wanted to get far away from them, and that might have brought them south.
Fair enough. Okay.
I didn't get to include that in the
Yeah.
writing, but
Yeah, if this idea does indeed take off, obviously I'll have you guys and expand on this idea and see where it goes and all that stuff.
Right.
Keep going on the Carpers, same dark. Obviously the look stays similar, darker, whatever, darker green and all that.
Yeah.
The interesting thing I did notice that none of the Dark Forest Company troops are mounted. Is there a reason for that, or is that just the way they work, or what was your reason?
I was at first considering having one of them be a mounted crossbowman, particularly the Dark Forest Adventurer, the highest level one, but I thought it would kind of give them a little more proper mercenary look if they're all footmen of some type with some skirmishing elements. But
The other question I did have: do you have these troops set up in the custom mercenary troop tree by any chance?
I have not as of yet.
Okay.
But I could do that and send a screenshot to you at some point.
I was curious. I guess if you had, we could take a look at what your idea was with the current assets. Obviously, most of them probably.
Actually, I could even add them through morgues.
Yeah,
Actually, just have them outright.
Yeah, if you could have them, I don't know, go over them and maybe add them in a future video or something. That'd be cool.
Let me. All right. I'm gonna just take another look through the document.
Is there any other stuff that you wanted to touch on?
Honestly, I think that's probably it for the moment.
All right, sweet.
Yeah.
That's fine. We can. I'm honestly probably going to be looking at this a little further and see if there's actually something we can do with this minor effect. I do like the idea once again. I might change or edit some of this if it actually makes the game. We'll see. But yeah, thanks for the feedback. Always nice to have you on.
Yeah, it was fun.
Let's keep going, I guess. Obviously, if you want to chime in, don't feel free to do so.
Yep. I'll stay muted though, in case there's any background noise.
No worries. Vilehand, let's get to your idea if you're on. We got the tribal faction, about as long as Sovan's idea. He is here. All right, let's get into it.
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You sound good.
Alright, first off, I'd like to apologize because I'm not in the US, so my voice might lag or it might not. Just a heads up.
No worries. You sound fine to me.
Alright, so for my faction idea, what I was thinking is that in Perisno, most of the minor factions, yeah, are knight-looking dudes. They have proper-looking armor and they generally have that clean look to them. The only savage-looking enemies are like the blood shamans or the ankars. So my idea, I was thinking that there could be some minor faction that again looks like a savage band of warriors. yeah, they don't look proper. They don't wear proper looking armor, just patchwork armor, or just you know, yeah, they look tribal like. So my ideas are not that in depth in terms of lore. It's just a general idea. Yeah, the
Okay.
general idea is that they're a faction of savages, and I named this faction the Utskawa.
Let's
It's
go.
pronounced Utskawa.
Yep. I know I
So the
I'll interrupt for a second. Sorry. I know I murdered that when I first said it, so thanks for correcting my pronunciation on that. So
yeah, no worries. It's not a common word, so no worries. So the Utskawa are a minor faction that inhabits the mountain pass into Kaikoth territory, and the reason why I picked the Kaikoth territory and southeast of Amarna is because that uh, I think that's the only area where there's not a lot of I guess enemies, so it's kind of empty, I guess. So I guess that's why I picked that area when I first drafted this idea. And for the lore, again, I didn't really think of it that much
yeah, it's
on the
fair.
lore. So, uh, in my mind, when I drafted this, they were just a remnant of a once powerful order of warriors which inhabited the mountains. When I first drafted this, I think that the order was a self-sufficient warrior order that lived in the mountains, but then there were two groups that had disagreements, and then they wiped each other out, and the descendants became violent tribals. At least that's what I was going for when I first drafted this. So, because they're descendants of warrior brotherhood, they still have their distinct armor of plate armor, but it's all broken and patched up with leather and scraps of other armor. And because they're what is it an order that revels in destruction, accordingly they boast a barbaric lifestyle based off of strength and combat acuity. Everything they have has been acquired either by picking through their former castle or raiding more capable warbands like us, and their leaders are chosen on the basis of their prowess and savagery. However, this form of leadership is, of course, notoriously unreliable and cannot prevent a rout by superior forces. So that's why they can't expand beyond Kaikoth territory. So on to the troop trees, I guess. Or do you have any questions before I go into the troop trees?
Um, I did have one question about their actual assets. So, asset-wise, have you seen any like armors in the actual mod right now that would uh, fit the style, or would it have to be just placement stuff for now? If the idea were to take place.
Uh, the giant's armor is something that's kind of similar to what I was thinking. Leather with scrap plate armor, but for the minor faction for the Utskawa, I think uh, it looks more roughed up, looks more patched like, and has a bit more night looking. I guess I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, you know
Okay.
what? Yeah, the giant's armor is, if it has
It's
the
the
human
close.
version, that's
Yeah.
the closest one. Yeah.
I guess the only feedback I would have for that is the giant armor is kind of designed for a bigger body. I guess the body meshes are a lot bigger than the humans. And if you've noticed that if you try to put some giant armor on a human right now, it won't let you. It'll look weird or
Yeah.
whatever. So I guess if the idea takes off, we would have to find some placeholder stuff till we get actual assets and stuff, because the giant armor obviously wouldn't work directly porting it over. But yeah, just curious, I guess.
What I if I can what I do really like, besides the name, which is actually kind of works really well.
Yep, I agree.
With your idea of the assets with this scrapped plate armor, it's pretty. Would you say it's like it'd be pretty banged up? Perhaps even like shattered in certain places, and the leather is almost like stitching over it. That they kind of be like what you were thinking.
Yeah. So since they raid and they pillage for whatever they need, I was thinking that the armor could be a mishmash or a bash of maybe Hakon factions or Kaikoth troops or even Realm of the Falcon troops. Just mishmash their armor together so it looks somewhat like a patchwork armor. If that's not too hard, I guess. But that was what I was thinking.
Catching up on chat. We didn't miss Wolfie's comment here. So like Olkin Relics, you're believing Age Perisno. You can answer that if you want. So then, new to the stream, not new to the mud. Curious to see where you guys want to go. Got a lot to cover off. Frosty Skipper, welcome to the chat. And the tribe sounds like chaos from Warhammer in a way. I guess it would. I don't know too much Warhammer lore, but the giant's armor right now is actually based on Warhammer armor. So it is since it's open source assets. I believe the original armors are ported.
Yeah, they're all from
Warhammer.
War Sword guys.
Since I've never played the mod or never played Warhammer, I just know where it comes from. I've never played it, so. I did have one comment here. The idea when I first read this. Oh, 1 second, I gotta find this. It reminded me of this one race from. Let me find it before I actually show you guys. I don't suppose you guys ever heard of the Parshendi in the Stormlight Archives. I think it's the Parshendi.
Doesn't sound familiar.
Okay. I think, let me give it a second here to find if I can find images of them. Because their armor, no, it's not the Parshendi. What am I talking about here? I gotta reread those books again. One moment, I gotta find this, and we'll keep going. Keep going. I'll find this comparison. We'll cover this when you're done.
So should I just go to the troop trees or?
Yeah, that's what you're doing next. We'll circle back to the armor in a second.
So the Utskawa warbands and raiding parties consist only of infantry and cavalry. They have no dedicated archer units because their order doesn't have archers or range units. So the idea is that they go in fast and they try to overpower their enemies before they could react. There are only mounted units and infantry units, and all of them have throwing weapons to combat any range units the enemies might have. So first up is hold on. Yeah, so first up is the infantry. The infantries have sort of axe or a sword and a great shield. And one of the notable things about the Utskawa the Utskawa warbands is that all of their units have a mask, some sort of mask which displays their rank, and the higher they go in their troop tree, the more sinister the masks look. And for the first unit in the troop tree, the young warrior, their mask only has display. only has eyes with no mouth, and the more they go up, the more that the mask has a face, and the more sinister it looks, and all the way up to the warlord, which is the unique spawns, war chief Takar's own personal guards, and they have a more devilish mask, and they use. Here's the unique idea I have for them. They use swords or axes which were looted from either Hakon or Kaikoth troops, or yeah, even Realm of the Falcon troops. So the only unique one is, I think, on the troop tree is the warlords, which use salvaged, not salvaged, I guess, looted armor and swords, while the other units, the lower units, still use patchwork armor that they created. That's it, I guess.
Yeah.
I didn't really go in depth on the troop trees or the lores.
No, that's fine. I do like the armor ideas a lot. I do like it a lot because they're not like any other minor faction where they have this distinct look. These guys seem to, excuse me, seem to put together like they find whatever and they make it work. But they could essentially have your own unique look as well, because I like the idea of the higher level they are, the different type of face paint or helmet they have, or whatever whatever your idea was with that.
The masks.
Yeah, the masks. I like that idea a lot, and this kind of reminds me of the direction we wanted to go with the Clymorians as well. Like they have a similar, we have a similar idea with that. Like the higher level guys have these sinister looking masks or whatever, eventually. But yeah. So these would be humans, right? Just curious, or a different race, or
yeah, this will be humans.
Okay. They should have mismatched armor, like each soldier has a chance to spawn with different armor. Yeah, Wolfie, that is possible. You just give the troops about 2 or 3 sets of armor, and the game randomly picks the set from the inventory. That is possible.
Yeah, so the reason I use the masks as a way to distinguish which troop, which unit that is, because their armor's gonna look like mismatched, and it's gonna be really hard, I guess, to differentiate them between units. So the masks will help in that regard.
I do like the unique spawn you came up with, and I had a bit of an idea, because you said kind of the 3 factions they raid most are Hakan, Realm of the Falcon, and Kaikoth. So they might have salvaged weapons from each of them. What would you think about the War Chief Takar having? It could be considered a unique weapon, but it's an old Hakan King's Blade. Yeah, it's one of the higher damage 2-handers in the mod, but it could be like retextured with a bit of like tribal inscriptions on the blade and stuff.
That actually sounds pretty good, actually. But the tribal inscriptions, yeah,
or
actually,
just something to discern it from the regular model.
or maybe the sword is cut in half, I guess. So since it's a salvaged sword, that means the sword is kind of broken. So
interesting.
Yeah, so the sword is cut in half so that it distinguishes it from the real one or other swords, I guess, so it looks unique. Yeah, but I like your idea about the tribal inscriptions. That's pretty nice.
If you, Sylvan, if you have any stuff you want to comment, just comment it in as well on this side of the document. That'd be fine too.
Okay.
If you want to, because I might forget. But anyway, I had another question. Is there a weakness that these guys have? Because it does say they don't have any ranged troops, but all their units are equipped with throwing weapons. Is there like their weakness, their actual armor, or lightly armed with or don't they have, or they're good in pretty much everything, just not great?
No, what I was thinking is that the smaller warbands are easily dispatched if you kill their cavalry, and then you can pick off their infantry pretty easily with any ranged unit. But yeah, that's most of their warbands. Just take out their cavalry and their infantry will be easy pickings. But on the higher levels of the warband, like the unique spawn, you'd have to really strategize how you approach these guys, because the warlords and the prowler knights will most likely overrun your infantry before you have a chance to react, and if your infantry are overwhelmed by the cavalry, there'll be easy pickings for the infantry. So the only way to counter these guys, if you encounter their unique parties or if you're still pretty weak, is that you use spears or pole arms to combat their cavalry, and you keep your archers on the back line so that they can pick off the infantry easily enough while your infantry kills the cavalry. Yeah, so their weakness is probably the same as the Reich, just use spears or pole arms.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's even though you didn't have too much information or go too much in depth, I do think there's a lot of good. Is a good layer of stuff to work with here if we do so. Actually, decide to go with this, and I want to. If you guys are still going to be in chat, once I go over the actual map that I've been working on, I do have two versions. The newer one I'm not going to show because I'm not ready to show it. I have an earlier version I'm going to go over in a bit, and there's some areas I want to cover as well. If you're done, are you done, or do you have something other you want to go cover as well?
No, I'm done.
Okay.
Unless you guys have any more questions.
I think the last question I had was, both of these ideas are based around Kayakath, which is interesting as well. Is that easy? I think you did say because of the empty areas around there that works well, or that would work well.
Yeah, I guess both. It is kind of ironic that we both kind of picked a similar area.
That's the first thing I noticed, but yeah.
I just picked it because I thought I had recalled seeing the Perisno adventurer parties over there, but
yeah. No, that can. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
No, but I honestly, it works for both of them, really. Mm-hmm. If I had to say through some way both of these end up getting implemented, the Atsukawa tribe could get that mountain pass, and you could give the desert mountain pass area to the Dark Forest Company, maybe. Then again, yeah, they don't really strike me as a desert miner faction, but
another big reason I like these guys is if we do use these ideas, like down the timeline, once and when we're going to Bannerlord. I know that's an off-topic because it's not. Anyway, if we do go to Bannerlord and the Bannerlord timeline starts with Aurilo not being there, we really don't have any tribes or factions that have this style, like the tribal style faction or whatever. Excuse me. And these guys would, I guess, fill that kind of void. Obviously, Aurilo would become a minor faction in the Bannerlord timeline. If this faction wouldn't make Warband, for example, these would be a good addition as well to the Bannerlord timeline, and as well these guys too, because there's going to be a bunch of minor factions not making the Bannerlord timeline for a bunch of reasons. Because one or two, some are too generic, as Sylvan had pointed out. I do agree with him on that. And a lot of lore will be still being worked on or reworked. And these are reasons why I want some fresh ideas from players who spent time playing the game, who know the lore to some extent, and then that actually fit. And these two ideas really stood out to me. So, once again, I'll be going over the Geishar map in a bit. I'm not sure Olegio is going to be on. I did PM him. He did say he did have some stuff to show. But you guys are free to stick around, hang out, whatever. Comment on the stuff you have. And anybody else in the Discord, feel free to pop in. I'm fine with that as well. I'm just going to check on the Discord. Have any messages? No, we don't. Discord. Let's go. Right on. Let us go. Let's see if I can open this up here. Don't expect too much from this yet because I'm still heavily... This is an older version as well. Before we get into the Geishar map, I have to give people who are kind of newer to the lore an overview of what we're going to be looking at. So, Perisno updated the wiki to work, and I do keep saying the website's going to be up soon, but the website is going to be up when we release 1.4, which got pushed off thanks to some real life stuff. Sorry about that, guys. It happens. Life happens. But anyway, right now the wiki is, I'm still updating it as I go. Perisno is one of the great continents of Geishar, which was recently added. Geishar is the name of the world and system where the great continents like Perisno are located. Geishar is large relative in size, though smaller than Earth. I use Earth as a comparison to the size. It is not as big. It's really hard to actual map distances and all that fun stuff of the actual size of things compared to Earth. And I'm not sure if we'll ever go down that path. But anyway, Geishar contains the following continents so far that we've made public: Perisno, Insel der Drachen, Nycinia, Hacania, and Chechnya. But Hacania will probably be changing its name. It goes along too much to Old Hakan, New Hakan. We're trying to, so it doesn't get confusing. We'll probably change that in the near future, so keep that in mind. I was vibing to the music and noticed streaming. Welcome to the stream, Jay. Are you going to win the next giveaway as well? Yeah, anyway. We're working on Geishar right now. It's the official world and place for Perisno. And right now, this is the current rough warband map of Perisno. For all of you, I'm sure if any of you have played Perisno to some extent, have this down pat. And for most of Warband's lifespan, this has been the map we're working with. In the future, maybe in Bannerlord, maybe in the own iteration of Perisno, this will be updated to add the whole world of Geishar, if possible. The only problems with that would be in Bannerlord, for example, excuse me, is this is just Perisno as a continent. That's why we're going over here. But if we were to get the whole continent onto the game that we're trying to do, or what I want to go for, is Bannerlord's going to have sea travel, and it's still in beta and all that fun stuff. And if we do go to Bannerlord, I kind of want to have Geishar as a whole on the game, not just Perisno. I always got to keep my maps tilted for some reason. Tilted, what? Let's catch up with the followers. Frosty Skipper, I don't think I had you. Welcome. Alpha Ice First, welcome to the stream as well. Thank you for the follow. And before we get into the next segment here, I want to go to Geishar. I know you guys are waiting for that. I have to get some water and dryer. I'll be right back, guys. Get those tickets in. Same giveaway rules apply as last time. Why is this not changing? Whatever. Same giveaway rule applies as last time. Winner will be drawn in February. Patrons receive an entry bonus, just like last time. 7 orms for every 10 minutes watched. I'll have to stream on, just like usual, running certain days to get some tickets and all that stuff. Each ticket costs 10 orms as usual. Followers gain 20 bonus orms if you follow. Subscribers are rewarded with 3 times the amount, so you do relatively get 60 orms, I believe. And you now have a 2 times chance of winning if you're a subscriber. Is there any areas to the west? Not currently in Warband. We'll be going into that in a second. I'll be right back. I gotta get some water. All right, we're back. Okay. Where was I here? All right, so continuing on with the Perisno story and all the lore stuff. Let me get this map I had up for the one I had shared here. All right, so going along with the map I just showed, let's close these. We don't need these for now. Where were you? Right. So currently with the map like that, and then we have it kind of named to this side. Let's get various places from the bottom. We got Perisno as the land. We got the Arillo Islands up here, Radiant Sea, Obsidian Ocean, and the Neshkin Ocean off to the side. I did not name these in the map that I'll be showing you in a second. So keep that in mind for the places which will eventually be expanded upon. But yeah, in the current map, this area is going to be staying the same. There won't be stuff up here in Warband, for example. This area will be mostly uninhabited as it is now, and the plains are going to be mostly staying the same for the Warband timeline. Anyway, let's open up. We got some Discord stuff. Never mind. All right. Okay. This is the first time that I'm publicly showing this, but this is a current map that I've been working on. This is not the newest version. I've just been... I've added a lot more, but it's not ready to be shown yet. Oh crap. Sorry about that. Show my screen. There you go. That is what I wanted to show you guys. Why is the mic full screen video? No, not that. There you go. So, according to the maps, we got Perisno, the continent over here, and by size comparisons, Perisno as a continent is actually larger, or would be larger than they're shown in the current game. I've only included the outlines of the current maps, or the current continents, right on in Perisno. Let's bring this up here as well. If I can find it. Man, I am not organized today. Sorry about that. Let's bring the current map up here. There you go. So, this will be the current map that is showing. And going back to this area here, it's an area that's going to be kind of wild. I haven't added too much of that yet. In the next stream, I'll be having a lot more to show you about this. But this area kind of relegates this area over here to a lot of mountainous regions, heavy it's not even planed. It's very rugged and all that. There's going to be some additions over here as well. And down here in this area, the Scabarius Plains, the mountain range, you can't really see that much over here, but this whole mountain range where Fountain Hall and all that, it's not going to be as closed off. The reason it's closed off right now is because I wanted to kind of make this area you can't go down here because there's nothing ready or available to show. That is one of the main reasons this mountain pass is unpassable. The dwarf area as well, it's going to be more open, and it's going to be a lot more open. There'll be more entrances. Like, there's only 2 right now, but down the road it's going to be a lot more open or whatever. You can move into dwarf area. It's not going to be isolated as much as it is now. That is in this area, obviously not showing. But right over here, the Telranian, the river it shows. So Telranian is moving in here. The Clymore in this area. And there's going to be some Macavians down this stretch, which shows up right about here. There's some stuff going on over here. That is that same stretch, or it should be. It's so small. It's like an 8K canvas, so I've got a lot to change in this as well. So this area is relatively around here. This pathway, or should be some land bridge, whatever. A lot of mountainous areas. The Telranian castle up here, in this area as well. Glad you asked. So this is an island that we've got, or it's a continent / island because it's so small. Let me bring up. All right. We do have it in the wiki. It's pronounced Sestashia. It's a small continent to the east of Perisno mainland. Its size is diminutive compared to Perisno, obviously. It's a lot smaller. Why does it close? And not much is known about this land other than it's mostly composed of 2 major biome types. Grassy plains and high rocky formations that jet out from the landscapes from all directions. One of the few known factions from Sashnia is that it arrived in Perisno shores with the Kulan Horde, which, from the right side, that Kulan Horde, sort of this area, I guess they came from the east. Or else you have to bring it up. So they would move from this area and come in here, I guess, bypass this land, and they settle in this area. So the Kulan Horde do essentially come from this island, or an island. Let's close this out for now. Essentially came from Sestashnia, or Stashnia. Man, I murder this word every time. Rumors are spreading in the year 395 that this island succumbed to a massive earthquake that caused the already volatile landmass to crack, which resulted in volcanoes, and eventually engulfed most of the island, making it vastly uninhabitable. This is also the island where the Dueler comes from, and more lore with that will be coming in the future. I like how they're called a horde, but have a single town and 4 vassals. Yeah, they're such a horde. I think I did share some more of them, some more information. Let me see if I did share it. I'm not 100% sure. I've made some of this stuff public. Bashmbatur. The story of the Kulan Horde begins far Perisno on the continent of Chechnya. For centuries, the nomadic inhabitants lived in peace on the continent until a volcanic eruption forced them out of their prosperous grassy plains to closer to the nomadic tribes on the rather sparse land. So basically, this island is made up of a lot of mountains, and then I guess it's the plates or whatever shift and all that stuff. A lot of volcanoes, and forcing the tribes that are, or the hordes, if you want to call them that, closer together, and that caused a lot of wars, and they didn't like each other and all that. So essentially, they migrate or find Perisno, and that is the reason the Kulan Horde are currently in Perisno. When they first saw that declared war on me, I was like, oh no. Then I saw them and like, you're hard, but smart. Yeah. We may or may not expand on the Kulan Horde in the future. There might be one of the factions that gets, I think they're a faction that gets taken out in the future timeline. And this island may or may not even be included in Bannerlord, for example, or a future version of Perisno because of its uninhabitable place. Or the player can get on there and then there's not much to do there since most of the people there are dead or moved on. Would we be able to go to these continents in Bannerlord? If we go to Bannerlord, and if there's sea travel, I do want this whole world, the whole world of Geishar, to be available to play. Because if we don't have sea travel in Bannerlord, then obviously we cannot add these other islands or continents. So to answer your question, the only way we can do this is with sea travel. And considering mods were able to add sea travel in Warband to some extent or some degree, I'm pretty sure sea travel in some form will be coming to Bannerlord. So yes, essentially the plan is to get Geishar in Bannerlord or Perisno in whatever version it comes to. The plains as well. The new faction down to timeline comes from the Scabari's plains. There's a few factions that come from the Scabari's plains. And I'll expand on that lore in the future because the Scabari's plains are very interesting in their own right because they're not as rich in resources as the rest of Perisno. They're probably one of the least inhabitable part of the whole continent. Before we continue, thanks. 1 second. Thank you, Stream Elements, for reminding me. So, guys, we do have the new Perisno merch. Not sure why it's not focusing. But yeah, the Perisno merch store is live. I finally got the T-shirt in, Perisno Guardsman or Perisno T-shirt. If any of you wish to get that, and if you do win. If you do win the giveaway, then you'll be able to get some Perisno merch for yourself. If you do choose so as well. Let's touch on this here. There's some new stuff in the Perisno merch store. Just plugging this in. If you are a tier 1, 2, or 3 subscriber, you will get discounts. So if you are a sub to any tier, you'll get a certain amount of discount. I'm not sure. I would have to look it up. Let me see here. I do believe contest leaderboard. I'll let you know in a second here, but there's pretty decent discounts if you are a subscriber. We got this stuff cheaper. We got the new mouse pad. The only thing I don't like about this smaller mouse pad, let me get this bigger. We'll get back to the line in a second, is, okay, come on. There it is. Only thing I don't like about this, it's white. I couldn't change the background. It still looks good. It still looks good. This is the mouse pad that shows up here. Let me bring this up again in Merch Store. This is the mouse pad, that the first picture, the first image. For some reason, they don't let me change the color of the actual mouse pad. But over here is a larger mouse pad, which is a full-size one that you can do different colors. We got some Fuel t-shirts as well. We got some main t-shirt Hit Hill to Track t-shirts. We'll get some more of these t-shirts once the new artwork is done, which has been taking a lot longer than it should. We got the Band Elf shirt. Yes, more of this stuff, you know. Anyway, yeah, that is the Perisno merch store, which is linked in the chat. I'll link it in the description below once this video is on YouTube. All right, let me check quick if our Levio is going to show up here. I'll see if he's coming on. Go to live stream. Catch up in the chat quick. The Drachen, which I had a question. What is the Draken Island above Cheshire? Okay, back to the land. This is the Insel Draken. That's where the original Reich des Drachen do come from. It's really small and it's full of. It's not really that great. It's full of animals and creatures and stuff, and you can kind of see why they want to get out of there, because it's not really that prosperous or whatever. So they do eventually move down from the Insel der Drachen, which is the Isle of the Dragon, and find Perisno, like a few other factions do. That explains so much about Rahara. What do you mean, Wolfie? That explains so much. Did I miss something? It's Mitch, but yeah, it is. It's literally, I don't know. I thought it's funny. I don't know. I found it pretty good. 5 mouse pads. Anyway, on to Nysinia. This is a rough outline of Nysinia right now. There's a lot to be changed in this, but this is a rough place where Nysinia is. And a lot of factions do come from Nysinia, if I do remember correctly. We have this one. Nysinia is a large continent far to the north of Perisno. Its size compared to Perisno is roughly half. Well, I added that. And it features a similar yet harsher climate biome from extreme Arctic tundra to tropical rainforest land types, thanks to its weather systems and drastic changes in elevation. Like that. So, the surrounding islands, I haven't added Nadir yet to this, Nadir. I believe it's either to the left here. I'll have to check my other map. And here's some edits I have to do this. So Nadir will be added eventually as well. Currently the year 395. The following factions and tribes from Nysinia have invaded or found their way to the Persian mainland. So the Zan are one faction that come from Nysinia. We also have the Valhir clan, Ukandu, and the Valhir Raiders. All these factions essentially come from or migrated from Nysinia, and still have some fair people back there as well. I think Nysinia will be one of the most fun places to check out, besides Perisno itself, because of the different types of. It has an. I think if I get this where I want it to go, it'll have a better or vaster change of weather system or land types, like extreme cold to very tropical rainforests because of the weather systems, all that. If Nysinia is far from north, there's no way to attack from the south. Good question. Good question. I suppose the Akundo, more or less, thanks to Warband, they're mainly a placeholder at the south. Maybe they moved down from the. I'm not 100% sure. The Akundu, in my opinion, are kind of one of those generic minor factions. They could have potentially moved down and came down in here, or found their way down here past the Giants. I don't know. But to answer your question, the Akundu, again, are not really a faction that has been working on. I don't know. They're too generic, in my opinion. Even though they do have cool things like tigers and stuff, and tigers can swim, of course. Been on the sail. There are some things like that I do want to clear up in future lore editions. But yeah, that is one good question there. So, the Valhir Raiders, obviously, they're around this area, the northern islands north here as well, which is the Valhir Islands up here. Valhir Raiders moved that. The Valhir Raiders were originally actually a major faction before we introduced the Valhir clan. Mench's favorite minor faction is the ones that scream blood for blood god, but that's all they know. Hail to the chief, I guess. Blood for the blood god. The origins of Arulo. We'll get to that in a second. Quick backstory of the Arulo. I guess they do originate from their islands. And this is not representative of Warband because the Warband map is connected all the way to Perisno thanks to our to the Warband engine and not letting us do real sea travel. So this is actually a decent waterway between Perisno and the Ural Islands. So they're, for the most part, would be the most distant faction from Perisno, but they originated on the islands. This top part here, obviously, is full of swamps. It's very swampy, very soft, and all that. They don't really come from up here. They're mostly down in this area, and as far as anybody knows, they've been there since the start. They didn't really come from Hyrcania, Icinia, or any other island. They're good at making what? They appear in. Goodness. Well, they appear in Perisno, but once again, the biggest problem with Warband itself is telling a story, is telling a lore story. And if you have the map limitations, which we have, if you have all the engine limitations, all that fun stuff, it's kind of hard to portray one-on-one what we're trying to do, right? So, without spilling too much of the Arullo lore, which is not, they're not going to be that important down the road because they're getting wiped out in the future timeline. But Arullo do originate from their own island. They don't come over from Akan, they don't come over from Icinia, they don't come from Perisno, they come from the Ural Islands, which is technically part of the Perisno continent. Got any pipes, mate? But yeah, we do want to expand on certain parts of Arullo, and even though they do get wiped out, we're still trying to decide if or where they're going to get pushed to, because the Galdar are taking most of the bottom part of the island. Are they going to get pushed to the swamplands? Are they going to take these small islands? We don't know yet. Was Arullo around during the Kingdom of Prisoners Clan Warrior? Yes, they were. Here's the thing. Obviously, there's not too much showing here. I haven't done, but if you look at Galway, for example, that was the capital of Perisno, and if you go all the way to the Ural Islands over here, they're far off, right? They're not even connected. There's a big gap. They wouldn't even. I'm going to go out here and say this right now. Arullo had no idea of Perisno. The Perisnoans had no idea of the Arullos, of the Arullo tribes. For the most part, neither did the Elentor, the Nefali. They were too busy doing their own thing. Some Nefali might have traveled this distance or traveled over to the islands, but for the most part, they didn't really have too much contact with Arullo, and Arullo didn't have too much contact with anyone outside. But since the Hyrcanian Islands, which is once again we'll change it, because Hyrcania, Old Akan, New Akan, there's too much of the same thing going on. We'll change this down the road. But obviously, these guys they don't land here. They mostly land in this area in Fort Akan, the New Akan. So they probably found this island first, and you got any pipes? I like that. They might have, to some extent, had some contact with Arullo, and maybe they were a little hostile, and they're like, just moved on. We'll see. I honestly haven't written too much of that part yet. We haven't really discussed. But since the reason I haven't gone into too much depth of the Hakans landing either in Arullo or Perisno is because I just recently started mapping out this whole world. Because up till now, it wasn't really important to know where exactly these other continents or islands were because of Warband and its timeline. But since we're expanding on the timeline, we're expanding on future iterations of Perisno and where it's going to lead to, it's better to know exactly, hey, this Messenia, for example, is to the north of Perisno. It's this and this big. These guys come from that place. Hakan is over here. The island's over there, and the Takans come from up here. It's kind of everything has to make sense. It has to work together with the timeline. It has to make like this happens then, and Hakan would probably never have traveled all the way over here, for example. So I think the main thing I'm trying to say is connecting everything and making sure it works in the timeline, in the lore, and in the game. If sea travel becomes a thing in Bannerlord, it's going to be neat to see how different factions, maritime, and naval strategies. You have no idea how much I've been thinking about sea travel in Bannerlord and if it's going to be a thing, when it's going to be a thing. Because even if in the future down the road it's not going to be a thing, I still want to have Gaishar mapped out to the fullest extent. I still want to have this world built out and not use Warband as a crutch too much, because Warband in itself, I'm going to keep coming back to the fact it's so limited in what we can do and what it can show. And in all due, size-wise, it is very possible. It's very possible to add this whole continent to Warband, but the amount of work and basically have to start over from scratch map-wise in creating this, it would not be worth our time. So that is why I keep mentioning Bannerlord, for example, if the whole extent of Gaishar would be ever shown in Perisno, or in a game of Perisno. The Duckin ships having really potent rams, McCabe's having the fastest ships and the folly ships and the most archers. Yeah, the different kinds of ships in naval warfare, I think, would be amazing to look at. Even if Perisno would be its own game one day, I always loved playing Assassin's Creed Black Flag, for example, in Navy, and the naval combat was just amazing, in my opinion. But once again, that's a AAA developer. You know, they did really good in that game. So Arlegio is not going to be on in this stream. He'll be on probably in the next one, unfortunately. We have hit an hour 16. I'm probably going to another 10 or 15 minutes or so fleshing up on this land. I do want to thank Vilehand, and I do want to thank Ruin Lord Sovan for coming on the stream, going over their ideas. I do apologize for pushing it off for so long. I did say I was going to do a YouTube video on it, but I am still having issues with my YouTube. Older videos are finally showing back up. Hopefully the new ones are coming back up. I keep doing the massive... I did find out that it's easier to go over each and every video and making sure it's public. For some reason, every video is listed as private. I'm still trying to figure out what happened there. So I'm guessing a few more days, maybe a little longer. I don't know. Once all the YouTube videos are up, but this video will be available. I'll upload it to YouTube and I'll see if it actually shows it to you guys. So. Jay, you can use every point that you have made. You can use it in this giveaway as well. So if you did not use any points in the last giveaway, you have all those points now. Any point you make and not spend, you have it for you have them. They don't go away. So yeah, back to the giveaway. It is the February giveaway once again. Let me see here. Why can I not find my stuff? Yeah. The February giveaway, it is pretty much the same thing as the December giveaway. Once again, we will have 3 different canvas types to choose from. You can have the Perisno Guardsman, the new Tolradian artwork will be available, and the Perisno Maiden Wolf Rider as well. I didn't show that, sorry about that. So the Perisno Maiden Wolf Rider will be available as well, and Princess Burgett. So there's actually 4 canvas types you can be able to pick if you do so want to choose the canvas. For Steam, you can obviously do Bannerlord or any game that is equal to or less value to Mount&Blade 2 Bannerlord. So also for the Perisno merch store, I'm going to go with $50 because that's what Bannerlord is worth and that is what the canvases are worth. So I'm doing 50 as the baseline for the giveaway. You can do any Perisno merch that is worth $50 or less. If you want 15 mouse pads, go for it. I don't care. But yeah. She's so hot. What? Are you okay, Wolfie? Once again, let's go over here for a second. We go to the Perisno artwork. And for the 4 canvases that will be available, we have Princess Burgett, well, one of them. We can do the Perisno Maiden Wolf Rider, which is, I think we're changing the name of that in the near future. We're also going to have Perisno 1.0. We're going to have the Perisno Guardsman, the iconic Perisno Guardsman, And if you guys want, we can do Dacia as well. I'm not sure how that's going to be in a canvas. I don't know. We can do this guy too if you want. Mean looking human guy. Yeah, I think any Perisno artwork that comes out to a decent size, we can do in a canvas. Also, the Telranian. Once again, this will be changed where the helmets actually make sense of looking at you for more detail. So, and I might have a fifth option for you guys if the new artwork is finished in time for the Nefali. Who is that? What? Fountain. Oh, yeah. That is the Dacia. That's the Fountain Goddess. I was just making a joke. You can add her to a canvas as well if you want, but I don't think it'll work too well unless it's a canvas that is not landscape, that's portrait. So, I don't know. Do I have more? Actually, let me see here. I do have some new stuff that I want to show you guys. We do have the male Nefali new faces coming to 1.4. Unfortunately, for now, these are only the new option that you can choose the faces from. So we got the male, the dwarves, the Nefali, or humans. Not male, of course, they're males. We got the humans, the dwarves, the Nefali, or the giants. These are the new starting screen options. And we also have the females, I believe, here somewhere. Right on, we have the females as well. We have the humans, the dwarves, the Nefali, and the giant. This giant lady looks pretty mean. She looks pretty mean as well, so yeah. So we do have the male and female new faces coming up for Perisno 1.4. Getting those updated, getting the old stuff updated as well. I think that's going to be pretty nice to have. All right. Once again, too much. Let me check. I want to see this. What was that? The Nefali chick looks like she had too many leaf bombs. She probably did. She probably did. Yeah. Go back here at the giveaway. Once again, the giveaway for February 2022. We will have, I'll announce in the live stream channel on Discord. Or the giveaway channel. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I'll announce in the giveaway channel when the stream's going to be live to get more tickets. I did want to have our Legio on, but he is busy tonight. I'll have him on the next stream. He did have some stuff to show us, but it didn't work out for tonight. Yes, Wolfie. If you don't want to use all, if you want to use all 730, I believe you can do 73 tickets. Yeah, you can literally get 73 tickets right now. Just do exclamation point. Let me see if this works. Or is it tickets? No. I think it ignores my entries. Yeah, I can stick around for a little bit, Sova. So I think, let's see. Current giveaway present. All right. So. Are you sure you have? Do exclamation points enter or exclamation point points. See if that works. Said 83. You don't. You do not have 730 points, so you can get only 8 tickets. Yeah. And what 11115 you can get 1 entry for those tickets. So once again, every 10 minutes you get 7 orums. Each ticket costs 10. The more tickets you have, the more better chance of winning the giveaway. That's what we thought. no, it's based off. Yeah, it's simply based on your watch time. So, and I think it should do from the beginning that you started watching the stream. So every 10 minutes that you ever watched the stream, you should have 7 orms per 10 minutes. Okay, they are. The chat points are called orms too. Well, the thing is it is kind of confusing. But the chat points you can redeem. What can you redeem with the chat points, actually? Channel points. Highlight my message, unlock a random... Unlock a what? A random what? Send a message, choose an emote, and modify a single emote. I don't want to get more emotes on the line, but yeah, the channel points don't make how to earn person point. So you're saying... How come it would be a different number, though? Since they're supposed to be the same thing. That's kind of confusing. I get what you're saying, but... That is strange. I honestly don't know why that would show up like that. I'm gonna look into it and see why your orms should all be the same amount, I guess. Okay, I have 2K in the chat. Right on. So, it's probably since I started using Stream Elements. So Stream Elements starts... Well, Vilehan, have you bought tickets before? Have you used orms before? Because you can have a total, and then you can have... Or do you still have 2,000 of the other orms? That's strange. Says it... Okay. So it could be based off of Twitch's points, and it based off of what Stream Elements gives you, because Stream Elements, the giveaway is based through Stream Elements. So Stream Elements probably tracks their own orms per view time. So that's probably what it is. So if you do exclamation points, you should get your actual Stream Element giveaway points. So. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But yeah, it's probably since the start that beginning I started using Stream Element, so that's probably what it is. Yeah. Yeah, I can leave the stream running, sure. I got some stuff to do, but I can leave the stream running as well. Alright guys, that's going to be all for the actual stream. I'll leave the stream on for the giveaway itself for like 40 days. For like 40 days. I'll upload this video to YouTube for any of you guys who are interested in the lore. I did want to go over some more stuff, but once again, our Legio couldn't come on today. We want them orms. Donald Duck stuck. I also want to play some new games in the future. If you guys have any suggestions for games to play on stream for days that we're not doing Perisno, feel free to let me know which ones I'd like to do. I've lately been into... I did play Age of Ashes a while back. I honestly don't play a lot of anything else besides Warband. I don't know. Genre. I'm into RTS or real-time strategy, Age of Empires type, Warband. First-person shooters are pretty good too. Let me check on that, Jay. Give me a second. I'm into anything medieval, I guess, but there's not too many good medieval games I like. I like Skyrim and all that, but it's hard. I don't know. I gotta get back maybe into Skyrim some more. I play Red Dead Redemption 2 a lot. But man, the grind and not the amount of lack of content is kind of annoying. Let's see here. Patreon. Yeah, we can go over the Patreon Patreon stuff in a second here. Page right now. Let's look at it from the public side. No, I don't want to do that. UL 7 levels. Right on. Okay. Tarkov. I started Tarkov. And maybe I just don't understand, but it's so frustrating to play Tarkov for me. Maybe I just need more patience, but that it's... The problem I guess... it's just... I probably have to give it more time. They want to play more Tarkov. Mordhau. What's Mordhau? I've heard of it. Mordhau. Oh, and I've got some there merch. Parody. I love this. Oh man, I gotta show this. Sorry about that. Full screen video. No, not that one. I love this shirt. I'm gonna make one of these shirts for Perisno. Like, parody this. Oh, that's awesome. That looks cool. Skill-based combat. I like this store page. The store page is really cool. I should do this as well. What the heck? Oh man. These guys are awesome. I like their style. I'm gonna watch a video on it. That's hilarious. It's gonna be yeah. Internet's not good enough.
Well, you've seen it and you...
I'll let it buffer. Anyway, back to the Patreon. Once again, in the chat, for people to look for the link for the Patreon. The first tier gets just to get you on the list, I guess. Your name will be shown in the credits. You'll get a Patreon support badge on Discord, which basically on the right side up here, if you're online, you'll be listed on the top right below the developers. Perisno Militia, credits in the game, Patreon support badge, early access to updates, Patreon only voting power. I haven't done too many Patreon only voting things, and I want to do those in the future though. The Footman, the same thing. $15 Perisno Warrior gives you basically the same thing, as just a little more noble. That's where things get interesting. Request changes to the mod, not guaranteed to be added, but will get priority in this regard. So if you have, please don't become a patron and request Shield Bash just for requesting Shield Bash. Because we want to add Shield Bash even though you give us $25. $40 you get the same thing as the 25. You'll get to choose which faction will get unique commissioned armor. We'll probably have to get more people on the team to do that. Request changes, not guaranteed. The reason I say not guaranteed is because some ideas might not fit with the mod, but they will get discussed with the team and will get priority. The King of Perisno. Same thing as others, and if you're King of Perisno, once again you get direct access. I think the bottom Noble, the Knight, and the King of Perisno have access to this Patreon channel. I'm going to make sure in a second here. Roles. No, what am I doing? There you go. So the Warrior, the Noble, and the King have access to the Discord Perisno Patreon channel. So once again, we do share some stuff here in this channel that we don't share anywhere else. We do direct feedback with these guys. since they're the highest tiers. You will get to choose which faction, and you will get to create a unique troop in the game that will be added to the actual game. It has to fit the lore and all that setting of the mod. If it doesn't, we'll figure something out. So, but yeah, this is basically currently the Patreon for Perisno right now. I honestly feel that if we ever take off for Perisno, man, the slide is so bright. I do want this to be a stepping stone, like the Patreon, to eventually be able to commission or create a smaller team, add more people to the team that are commission-based to help create more assets for Perisno. And if the Patreon were to get big enough down the road, where the funds are to a substantial amount, we would be able to generally kickstart Perisno as a game. So if that were to happen, it'd be cool. It'd be awesome. But yeah. But right now we're doing month-to-month things with the Patreon, like artwork or armor commissions and all that stuff. If it gets bigger, then we can do bigger things. If you can't donate, that's totally fine. That's totally fine. It's only for people who have $1 to throw away. Yeah, totally fine. No worries. If you can't contribute anything. Let me see what I missed here. I like this music. I hope I'm talking. What's a Highlander? Highlanders. You mean the show? What's Highlander? Is that a game? Most dudes I face with them are really good with them. Oh, you mean Highlander's a class in your game. Okay. 1W1. Creating a new troop would be set. Of course it would be. I don't think any of the Kings of Perisno have requested a custom troop yet, so. But they have requested some features we've added, I believe. We'll have to go back and check. I'm creating Michadr 2.0, only difference he doesn't have a beard. What's Michadr without a beard, guys? Come on, man. Have it buffed to Galdor. The Galdor are getting buffed in the future timeline, so. Hail to the Galdor. Everyone donate 10k. I think with a couple of guys donating 10k, we could start our own game. I'm serious. I think. I'm not sure. Honestly, I don't know how much it takes to make a video game, but with a decent contribution or a backer or some guy who or some person or bunch of people who, like, I don't know. That'd be really cool, honestly. But those request tiers would one be able to request something like having themselves as a follower or something as you can, like an NPC, Jay? Do you mean? Yeah, potentially. If you are high tier enough, like the 25, 40, or 100 depends, and you have a suggestion that actually fits within the game, or you want yourself to be in the mod in some state or form, that is doable, yes. Like, if you donate $100 or be a $100 Patreon, I think it's worth it, yeah. I get the whole not happening thing, but there is a chance. Yeah, okay, here's the thing. Adding as an NPC is, I don't think that we turn down at all. But adding as a lord or something, and using your, like, Discord name or something like that, that's, I can't say that would happen because... like Wolfie Pigeon as a Telranian Lord, for example, probably not likely to happen, but you know. Wait, Michadr, the game's gonna be like Mount&Blade or something different. I keep mentioning this game that we want to make, but once again, yeah, it would be if I do have once again, my YouTube is down, so I can't really link this video, but we did talk about this in depth a while back. If Perisno would become its own game down the line, it would be very similar to Mount&Blade in its style. It would be an RTS, overland sandbox RPG. So it would be similar in that sense, just having Perisno as the game and whatever. But I'm not going to go into too much detail of what I want the game to be like till I actually have the funds and the the funds basically to actually write down and plan this thing out. So I can't really right now. I'm just speculating of what we could do. So we need a sugar daddy who can sponsor the bread. Find him. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. I'm not rich. I'll never be rich unless I hit Bitcoin, whatever, make a couple hundred thousand in Bitcoin. If I had the money, guys, I would spend pretty much every penny in making Perisno as a game. But yeah, some of us are not born into richness or whatever. I don't make a lot of money. I'm happy with what I make. You know, it's a little. I shall begin my quest on finding a sugar daddy. You do that. You do that. I'll keep my eyes out as well. If I sugar daddy. I love that. That's hilarious. Second question, with the $50 limit, would it be possible to win the giveaway and get a 1 month of Perisno Night Patreon tier? That's interesting. So I don't know how I would add myself. I could probably send you $50 and you add yourself as a patron and then cancel your subscription after a month. That's possible, I guess. I don't really know. I guess I didn't set up the giveaway that way, so I. Potentially, if you win it. Yeah, potentially. Win it and then suggest that, and we'll see. But yeah, you did win the last one. I actually got both of my canvas. I got the second Perisno canvas as well. Did it actually come in the mail? Like, was it scratched up or anything like that? Because I want to know if I want to use the same. If another person picks the canvas again down the road, if I can do the same shipping style. Because I do know it took a little bit to get there. Let's see here. I think, yeah. This bow play is just terrible. Why does it look so wonky? Is that a smoke bomb? It looks fun, I guess. Can you do third person though? That's the question. Is it just like team deathmatch? It just looks like team deathmatch. Yeah, I'll watch a few videos on this and see how it is. I don't know. I've watched some videos in the past on this game. It didn't really seem that great, but who knows? Some updates have saved games in the past. This will go up. So how's the leveling system in this? Is it like you level your character up and get better stuff over time, or is it like Warband where you level up during the game and just pick your stuff as you kill more people? Horde mode. That sounds fun. Yeah, there's some mods for Warband that do the similar thing to Horde mode, where endless spawns. Like every round, the spawns get harder. That's also a lot of fun to do. You get gold and stuff. How much is this game on Steam? Is it on? I hope it's on Steam. Might check it out. What is my Steam not showing up? There we go.
Thankfully, this new update has brought in many new people, as you can see. So, Mordhau is actually pretty active again.
What are the server sizes? Can you do like 64 v 64? That's $30. Oh, I do have it on my wish list. Oh, lion set, grotesque set, supporter pack. Nice. DLCs, boys, DLCs. I actually had a bunch of games on my wish list that I wanted to check out. I heard they became really fun. $30, 64 more. I've seen 100 before. I guess it depends which sets you buy. Sure, send me some stuff on Discord. Love to see it. This guy plays in first person a lot. It's better to play in first person or third. Because I can't. It looks pretty much like Bannerlord. I don't like this bow style though, but maybe that's the way. I'm just used to Warband, I guess. I would take the vote for person to mod vote for 2022. Yeah, I'll take that down. Yeah, Warband mods got really. I was surprised Warband mods didn't make the top 10. I'm kind of disappointed, and I honestly don't know what happened in the. I thought in the 2021 I guess I was. I think it's rigged. I don't know. Maybe it's rigged. Let's go. I think it's articles. Where is it? What the heck? So the top 100 for Bannerlord, the Old Realms, and Middle Online made the top 100. For Warband, it was Between Empires, Perisno, and Warsword Conquest. So we were in the top 100. But once again, it doesn't really show what number they actually made it for. So the choice for the release, yeah, so it does say the top 10 for the release mods. We did not make the top 10. No Warband mod make top 10. Half-Life 2, Quake, Total War, Attila, Dawn of War, Star Wars Galactica, Black Mesa, Total War 2, Battlefield 2 mod made top 10. How? I don't know. I guess people love this game. I don't know. I don't even know this game. I don't know. Battle of Miller 2. Like, okay. I guess people voted for this stuff, but I'm kind of surprised no Warband mod made the top 100. Maybe it's just dying off or something. I don't know. Honorable mentions. No Warband mod made honorable mentions. Kind of surprised at that too, but yeah. It's strange, man. It's strange. Okay, that's fair, Jay. Yeah. Well, the one I got, it had a 1 scratch. I was kind of disappointed. I went back to them like, "There's nothing we can do when you take it out of here." We're like, so I did order another canvas from a different company, and if that company does it better than the one I had before, then I'll go with those guys down the road. But I did order the. Which one did I order? I ordered the Princess Bridget canvas, so we'll see. Hopefully they do it better. Like, the ones that did the Perisno Guardsmen, I had about 2 or 3 of them. They did a really good job, but they don't do. You can't really come back and say, "Hey, this isn't like a scratch or whatever." like the one I have, it's not noticeable. You'll never notice the scratch, but I did notice it when I took it out of the box. So Warband player kind of different. Yeah, I mean, I'm quite honestly curious to see which number of these mods made it in the top 100. I wish they had a list of the top 100, even though it'd probably take a while to release it. But still, like, I do know Elder Scrolls, for example, is one of the highest modded games, I think, from the last time I checked. And for it to have only one mod in the top 100 and Warband to have 3, it's kind of strange to me. But Star Wars Battlefront had 1. Like, all these games, Battlefield 2, that's crazy. Command and Conquer had a lot of top 100. Wow, that is insane. But still, again, I'm kind of baffled. But maybe we'll have a good year. We'll win the 2022 Mod of the Year. Prison's coming for it. Yeah, we're coming for you. What other games did you guys say? That, I don't know. Battlefield game. No, that one do that. I did go over the Patreon stuff. Let me go to my Steam. So I did have. I don't know why I have this guy. I'm never going to buy Blood and Caribbean. I looked at Rust. Didn't like it. Life is Feudal. I looked at that for a while, and the reviews actually turned me off for it. So I didn't get Life is Feudal. And Medieval Engineers, that was an interesting concept, but there's just, I want a medieval game where I can fight as well, and Medieval Engineers didn't really get that. It's a different title, only $10, but still the reviews as well. I still have yet to get Kingdom Come Deliverance, and I'm being a cheap one on that because it's not gone down too much. If it goes like $10, $15, I might buy it. The Black Death, I wanted to get that, but still it's early access. I've been waiting that for a couple of years now. I'm not sure what the heck's going on with that. Northgard, it looked interesting. Still too much for me. Selig, interesting game. Still early access. I'm trying to stay away from early access games. Thanks to Bannerlord. Kind of turned me off from those. New Dawn. Still early access is really, I want to check this out. I'm not sure what this is. Ghost of a Tale. What? I don't remember that in this game. Greedfall. Open world, single player RPG. Probably not going to get this into single player. Or maybe it's, what is this? I don't even know. Let's see. Why does it do this? Come on. Every time I make it bigger, it just messes up. Let's see.
Ready to set sail for that island everyone's talking about.
It is said our people lived peacefully until the men appeared from the sea, intent on making our lands their own.
In Greedfall, the world and your story are ever-changing based on the choices you make. You'll enter the island of Tir Freddy, not to act as an assassin or soldier. First and foremost, you are a diplomat, with all the social powers and status that come with it. You're free to explore every faction's settlement and deal with the powers that govern each. To overcome the challenges ahead, you'll need to befriend members of every faction, some of whom will journey, fight, and talk alongside you.
Your Majesty, I shall present you to the Governor. Come.
Princess, Majesty, you are most confusing, but thank you.
Interesting that they see this stuff on their side of their face. I wonder what that's all about.
For your help.
Compose your party of 3 from anyone who's joined you so far.
Interesting.
But choose carefully. Each companion brings something different to combat. Kurt, your loyal master of arms and mercenary of the Coin Guard Guild, makes for a great frontline warrior. Meanwhile, Afra, a talented scientist from the Bridge Alliance, specializes in ranged weaponry, such as rifles and throwable explosive files. Regardless of who you choose, Be sure to regularly switch out and upgrade your companion's equipment and weapons, or you may find yourself overwhelmed in battle. During dialogues and diplomacy, your party members will chime in and react depending on your choices and what's being said.
My son, it is clear this woman has no intention of helping us.
I ask you to forgive these foreigners. They do not know our customs.
For example, Siora is a Tir Fredi native, fiercely protective of her people's rights. Sides strongly with someone antagonistic to the natives while in her presence, and an angry interruption may force your hand into bloodshed.
Don't tell me that you are going to humor this crazed assassin.
Be sure to pay close attention to your party members' needs. Each has their own story and unique personal quests. Ignoring them for too long may even cause them to leave the party. Petrus is a missionary of Ptolemy with a remarkable way with words and an outwardly fatherly nature that masks deep-rooted ambitions. Vasco, a captain of the seafaring Nauts, is one of the more secretive, closed members of your party. Spend time with the captain and complete his personal quest line, and he'll inevitably open up. Develop close friendships with all of your companions, and some may even lead to romance. Never forget, relationships in Greedfall can be as uncertain as the seas that ravage Tir Fredi's shores.
Constantine, I'm here. Pull yourself together.
Nothing said or unsaid can be taken for granted. Ultimately, the choices you make will shape the future of the island.
We didn't want this fight.
And the lives of all upon it.
You are too blind, too renegade to understand.
Yeah, that looks pretty cool actually, but it has guns. Yeah, honestly, it looks pretty cool. If it was on sale or something, I might even try it. Probably because rankings are for well-known mod AB. Skyrim mods are popular on Nexus over mods. Yeah, that makes sense. Brilliant Game City is really good with Black Tap and maybe 2. Holy crap! Send me your wish list. How would I do that? I don't think you can. I can go it over again if you want to save it. I don't know. How would I do that? Okay, to be fair, convince you not getting it. I wouldn't get it till it's out of early access. I don't know why I didn't know wish list. Greedfall looks interesting. Yeah, I'm just looking at stuff that I can play on the road, or play on the stream down the road as well. And I'm going over my wish list. I am going to remove Rust. No, thank you. I don't know why Monopoly's on here. I was a different person back then. Yeah. Mod tools for Gorilla. Where was I? We were at Greedfall. So it's 35 American, mostly positive. So this is probably a game I'm going to look into down the road, even though it is single player. Might be a good stream game down the road. Wardhow, $30. Once again, I'm kind of cheap when buying new games. World War III, that goes into my first-person genre category. Even though it's only 15, I might not even get it, so who knows. Mud Runner, I don't know. It seems like one of those games that too grindy. I don't know. I haven't played it. Valheim, probably will not get that. The graphics. It looks like a fun game, but probably not. Medieval Dynasty. I want to look at this again. I know I remember I added this. So 1 year ago, 3 months ago. Official. Oh, it launched. Awesome. Look at this. I forgot about this game. Let's see.
The dark and dangerous medieval ages bear many challenges. You need to hunt to survive. and build shelter against the elements. Be clever in trading. Expand your settlement.
I will say, the graphics look pretty darn good. Like, really good, honestly.
And keep your people
I'm poor too. Don't worry
happy.
about it.
Defend your village against.
Like, this stuff looks better than Bannerlord. Like the faces and like random events. I don't know. It just
Against the outlaws, and make your family live in safety. Create and grow your own medieval dynasty.
Dynasty. Yeah. I'll have to watch more videos on this. Looks quite interesting, to be honest with you. Back to my Steam, not Spotify. Get rid of that. How much is this? 35. Yikes. I don't know. It's still too much. So it's survival, building, open world, medieval RPG. I love open world and medieval RPG. Not sure about the survival part. I don't know. I don't like survival games, but we'll see. I do have Red Dead Redemption 2, and I'm not sure why I have it on my list. I do have it on Rockstar Games, whatever they call that, and that's still $60. They're insane. Super People, I played that, didn't really like it. Be Castled. I played this. This is a very fun, like, time waster. The castle is a very fun time waster. You keep expanding your city, and the attacks come from different sides. Still have to play it. I played the demo for about a couple levels. It's a very fun game. Don't know if it's worth $15 though. It's a good time waster. I'm poor. We're all poor, Donald. We're all poor. He takes out an axe. He died. Yeah, I was like, yeah. Donald. Yeah, yeah. When I look at a game, the bigger reason Valheim turned me off is because of the graphics. It looks like an amazing game to play, but the graphics are just. If I want to play a game with bad graphics that's fun, I'll play Warband. Just saying. Manolords. What's not out yet? Age of Empires. This might be my next game I'm gonna get. I really love Age of Empires. Probably the next game I'm gonna get, but I'm not gonna pay $60 for a game. Warband doesn't. Well, compared to newer games, it doesn't. It does, but it's still a little old for its time. 1.7 per minute. So you're saying Bannerlord, the new patch, is worth it? Might try it. Should we play it in the stream down a day or two? I might play it on the weekend. If you say it's worth it. Manolords is an indie strategy game for PC, still in development. It aims to combine organic medieval city building and real-time battle. Ooh. So if you only had medieval city building, I would not play it. Real-time battles, yes. Those were two fun things. Oh, I did watch a series on this a while back.
Welcome to Manolords.
It's like a dev left Bannerlord and like, we're gonna make Manolord. I'm just kidding.
In this video, I'd like to introduce you to some of the core mechanics of the game, including regional development, trade, and military recruitment.
We need more workers here.
Looks like Age of Empires.
The map in Manolords is
just
divided into
more
regions. Each region has its own resources, as well as a development tree.
Wow.
When you upgrade the residential buildings in the region,
Whenever a medieval building game has no combat, exactly. I won't even touch it.
Get development points, which you can spend to unlock.
I mean, what's the
new
point in building
development
stuff? And
branches.
just what's there to do? Just build.
This means that different regions may specialize in different things.
Like, here's this game. Just imagine that type of building. Combine it with Warband. Combine it with, like, Perisno. That type of style. Like, you can add on to what's already there in real time. The AI attacks you. That would be amazing.
Some may be more optimized for farming.
They need a different narrator.
Some for mining.
Oh, yeah, it looks
And
so
some
good.
will process the resources to make expensive goods, like shoes or clothing. Depending on the optimization of your production chains, the price of the goods will change, affecting the market attractiveness. Free merchants will travel more frequently to towns that have rare and more affordable goods. These merchants are the only way to get wealth in the game. Lord's treasury, however, is split from the regional wealth. As the Lord or Lady, you must tax your towns and villages in order to get money for your personal endeavors. There are different taxes
Always
giving
tax the
various
people.
benefits. For example, the tithe goes straight to the church, but in return, the church gives you influence.
Oh, yeah.
Every so often, the king gives out valuable rewards to the most influential lords on the map, including new territories. You can compliment or insult other lords via the diplomacy system to affect their influence. The recruitment system in Manor Lords has been redesigned after some community feedback. It is now divided into 3 unit categories. First type of recruits are the peasant militia. You can call to arms the peasants from your villages. They grab whatever improvised weapons they have and join the fight. This will hit your economy, and you'll need at least a couple of villages to form an army. If you want better militia, you must train them at the training camp or the archery range. The second type of recruits are mercenaries. They cost silver and a lot of it. The last type is Lord's Retinue. This is a limited, heavily armored unit
We can get to that
you
until
can
then.
customize to your liking.
I'll finish this video and I'll end out this action stream.
Thank you for joining in for this short...
So the problem I see with this is it seems like you're not actually doing anything, you're just simulating stuff, which it's fun, I guess. Yeah, alright. Looks cool. And that's all my, any of you guys want to look at my wish list, that's right over here. I don't know if you can share it. I don't think you can. Yeah, I'll go over it one more time. Then I'll probably end off the stream. And I got some stuff to look at Solan. Stalker, let me add that. Click. What? I did store, come on. Stalker anomaly. What is this? Hard to. Why is there so many different types of stalker? Beam stalker. Stalker clear sky. Are these? This is 1, I'm guessing. This is 2. Stalker call it. Stalker anomaly. I'll look this up later. Okay. That's pretty much it for the night. We did go off the beaten path of the typical Perisno. Okay, thanks. The typical Perisno lore stuff. I did want to go over some more of it with our Legio, but he couldn't make it today. So anyway, don't want to channel. Hold on. We will be going over some more Where is the map thing? Did I close it? I did close it, yeah. Once again, the giveaway, just like usual, the stream is on. You can accumulate points for the Perisno February giveaway for 2022. If you want more information, just DM me and I'll give you more of that. But once again, every 10 minutes you get 7 orms. 1 ticket costs 10 orms. The more tickets you have, the better chance of you winning. Alright, that's it for tonight. This video will be on YouTube once my channel is actually working. Thanks to everyone who showed up. Thanks to everyone who's live. I will keep the stream running for those of you who want to accumulate more tickets. It is almost 1 a.m., so I'll leave it running until I go to bed. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining in. Thanks everyone who contributed, commented, who donated, who followed or subbed. Thanks to everyone. And that will be it for tonight. Thanks for joining in. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.